Hi, I'm Mackenzie Nicole, and this is my guitarist, Ross Williams. And we just want to thank you guys for allowing us to be a part of your lives for these next few moments. When I first remember contemplating suicide, I was 6 years old, so I'm no stranger to mental illness. My mind was this haunted house in which I was forced to reside. This house was demented and inexplicably frightening, but it became my home nonetheless, because my suicidal ideation, depression, anxiety, and OCD was virtually all I'd ever known. It was this familiarity that provided a perverse sense of structure, making the darkness far less horrifying than the unknown of the light. It was this contradiction of hating my condition while fearing any sort of reform, all the while feeling confusion over this faceless, shapeless, nameless beast that is mental illness. I lived like this for 12 years and was resigned to living like this for the rest of my life, however short I believe that life might be. Over the first 6 months of 2018, I began to suffer a severe mental breakdown. Upon the onset of said breakdown, I opened up to a friend about the mental hellscape I was trying and failing to navigate. And he begged me to see his psychiatrist, which I immediately refused and continued to refuse for months, a period over which I nearly did take my life on several occasions. On one of my darkest days, I called my mom. I said, "Listen, I'm going to kill myself. And I just wanted to let you know because I feel like it would be unfair to spring it upon you. But just letting you know, this is something I'm going to do, and I don't have much time." To which she responded, "No, you're not." And I was like, what? Did my mom just forbid me from killing myself? She said, "We need to slow down." In that moment, I realized for almost my entire life, I had been hurtling at full speed towards a cliff's edge, but maybe I didn't really want to go over. I felt I finally had permission not to do the thing I felt forced to do, to kill myself. With my one and only plan off the table, I didn't have anywhere to go, didn't know what to do, so I went to the psychiatrist. And I was diagnosed with bipolar 1 disorder. And it was the best news I have ever received. I know being diagnosed with a severe mental illness doesn't sound like great news, but for me, the beast finally had a face, a shape, a name, and the suffering I had endured was validated. Come fall of 2018, I had a responsibility to record an album. And at a time when I felt like my breakdown defined me, what else could I write about? From that, my album Mystic was born. Mystic is divided into 3 chapters. The first is called The Rabbit Hole, which is about my rock bottom. This first song is called A Cut Rose in Tap Water, named for a habit of mine. Every time I find a Coke bottle or a cool jar or a nice vase, I fill it with tap water and I put a single rose in it and I never take it out. My room is a graveyard of roses now. And I was sitting there one day during my breakdown and I was considering one particular rose, and I realized when it was cut, it received a death sentence. In that moment, it was fated to die. I felt much the same way. I felt that if fate did exist, mine was to kill myself. I swear I've never felt worse than I feel right now. I've never felt more like myself than I feel right now. Cut rose and tap water. I had so much potential, maybe this is all I'm meant to be. Another tragic memory. A cut rose and tap water. Cut rose rose and tap water. Go away, but don't leave me alone. I wanna go home. I wanna go home. I wanna go. Don't be selfish, don't be kind. I did not choose, I will not fight. This is how I'm meant to be. Another decision made for me. Don't be selfish, don't be kind. I did not choose, I will not fight. This is how I'm meant to be. Another decision made for me. I am not precious. I am not precious. I am not anything that's even worth protecting. I tried, I tried, I tried. I did my best to hide, but all is said and done, and I could not prevent it. Go away, but don't leave me alone. I wanna go home. I wanna go home. Don't be selfish, don't be kind. I did not choose, I will not fight. This is how I'm meant to be. Another decision made for me. Don't be selfish, don't be kind. I did not choose, I will not fight. This is how I'm meant to be. Another decision made for me. The scales were ironic, there will be no judgment day. No regard for the fairness, so this is no price to pay. I expected nothing less and nothing more. There is nothing to be sad for. I can say nothing further. A dying rose on top water. I can do nothing further. A dead rose on top water. I didn't know it at the time, but neither I nor the rose were doomed to die as I believed, but destined to evolve. This next song is called The House Above the World. In Albert Camus' novel, A Happy Death, there exists a setting called The House Above the World. There's this quote, living above the world, each discovering his own weight, seeing his face brighten and darken with the day, the night. Each of the 4 inhabitants of the house was aware of a presence that was at once a judge and a justification among them. The world here became a personage, counted among those from whom advice was gladly taken, those in whom equilibrium had not killed love. And when I read that, I felt this sense of peace. And then I realized, oh my God, I'm at peace. And I felt calm instead of anxiety, and clarity instead of confusion. And I wanted to feel this way all the time, because when all I'd ever seen was darkness, finally I had glimpsed a world where darkness wasn't innate. Considering the text, inspired by the text, I thought, if the world is a personage equal to myself, then perhaps I do have value. Perhaps I do have importance. If the rabbit hole was a haunted house, this was its antithesis, the house above the world. In the house above the world, I fall to the balcony like a symphony, great to meet you. This third and final song is called Grow Old, from the third and final chapter of the album, Oxygen, because that's what recovery feels like to me. It feels like this gasp of fresh air after being held underwater for so long. Finally, I am breathing. When you feel you have no future, you take no time to discover or develop yourself. There's no point in furnishing a home set for demolition. But in recovery, with the future suddenly ahead of me, I realized that I had no idea who the real me actually was. And there was this sudden need and excitement and newfound responsibility to find out more about the person I was going to be spending the rest of my life with, myself. And now, unlike before, that task wasn't daunting or scary. It was actually kind of cool because I had felt so lonely for so long, never realizing that I had myself the entire time. When I had for so long felt so worthless, feeling that I deserved the darkness, the suffering, Mystic taught me that what I really deserve is to be happy. I suffered, but I have Mystic to show for it. I have this moment to show for it, and that is beautiful to me. Age is just a number, so I've been told. I know if that's true, if I get to grow old. Hit the black ice and I spun out, talking to myself like, isn't this fun now? Age is just a number, so I've been told. Know if that's true, if I get to grow old. Hit the black ice and I spun out, talking to myself like, isn't this fun now? I don't get any better than I am right in this second. No, I don't get any better than I am right in this second. I don't grow up, I just grow old. 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 I don't get any better than I am right in this second. No, I don't get any better than I am right in this second. I don't grow up, I just grow old. 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 Well, isn't that nice? Take no advice, nor a moment to press rewind. I don't get any better, no, I don't care for the weather. The sun is far too bright. The white light burns my eyes. No, I don't care for the weather. I like the gray skies much better. The sun is far too bright. I always like the night. I don't grow up, I just grow old. Live a long life somewhere on the East Coast. Feel the wind on my skin whenever it gets cold. Somewhere where I don't have to hide from my ghosts. I don't grow up, I just grow old. Live a long life somewhere on the East Coast. Feel the wind on my skin whenever it gets cold. Somewhere where I don't have to hide from my ghosts. Thank you.